morning, everybody, and welcome to our Shushu TV once again. Today, we will discuss on cataract training program. With us today, we have Dr. Reshmi Pawa, MD, Head PECO Development Training, India and West Asia from Alkan. Dr. Reshmi Pawa, welcome to our show and very good morning to you.
Thank you, Santali. It's pleasure to be here in the show.
Okay, ma'am. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
You already introduced me. Hello, everyone. So, myself, Dr. Rashmi Pawa. So, I am by degree ophthalmologist, and being ophthalmologist, and also my experience is more on the training in cataract, especially in India and West Asia. So, I am associated with Alcon. Now, I am heading the Alcon Phaco Development Program for India and West Asia. So, in a rough estimate, I can tell 15 years till now is devoted to ophthalmology, and I think many more years to come. That's me.
Okay, so let's get into the topic. How is the cataract training landscape in India?
So, everybody knows that cataract surgery is the most common surgical procedures performed in the world, and it is the most highly successful and the most cost-effective intervention that can change the quality of life of a person. That much important is the cataract surgery. If you know in India, so around in 2019, so last year, we have done around like 7.4 million cataract surgery procedures being done in India, which is roughly about one third of the whole world cataract surgery. And it is going to get bigger and bigger every year. By 2025, we'll be doing around 8.5 million cataract surgeries. And if you're coming to the phacoemulsification, which is roughly about 44% of the cataract surgery, like 3.2 million procedures has been done. And with life expectancy increase, patient expectation increase, so cataract surgery is a key role for the life of a person. But with all this rapid advancement in cataract surgery, there is not that much rapid advancement in the cataract training in India. So if a rough estimate, around 1,500 ophthalmologists passed out every year from India, they are going to practice, right? 60% are in the government institute. But the demand of the cataract surgery versus the skill required by these ophthalmologists to adopt phacoemulsification is not matched. There is a huge gap between the demand and the skill of the surgeons when they passed out. So I must say there is a huge gap in the skill development for cataract surgery currently in India.
Okay. For FACO training, what are the key principles for learning FACO?
So, so as I said, so now it's 10 years we are involved. I am mostly involved in the cataract training part of India. So for any learning, what is important is learning is a lifelong process, and unlike children whom parents need to tell, okay, you have to learn this and that, adult cannot be taught. Our learning is our own responsibility and accountability. Okay, so let's understand some adult learning principle, how adult learns. And one of the great mentor, Dr. Carl Gonick, he actually taught us what are the principles. The first and foremost is every learning, every skill development happen in stages, one stage after one stage. Okay, and especially in skill development, we have like stages. First will be novice, then beginner, then advanced beginner, then competent, then maybe expert. So we need to be patient. Okay, so it will happen gradually and slowly. But how a cataract trainee or phaco trainee will know that which stage you are in right now? So is there any tool available? So yes, we have a tool. We have Oscar School, which can help you know which stage you are right now. Okay. And the second thing is any training skill development require practice. It's not only practice, it is deliberate and perfect practice. For example, a simple step of hydrodissection. What I mean by practice is it has to happen in stages, right? We have to observe some of the surgeries. We need to know how it is done. Then practice the same thing again and again in the wet lab or simulator till you're perfect. Then we can practice in a life with the patient. So it's not directly you're practicing with the patient because they are the human people, right? So you really need to know the concept, practice in the wet lab, practice in the simulator or whatever available with you. Then we can go to the patient. And the third and most important is any learning requires self-reflection. What I mean by self-reflection is we need to know where we are right now and how we are going to know where you are right now. So two things is very important. One thing, whenever you do any surgery, are you recording your surgery? Because unless you see your surgery, how you have done, you don't know how you're going to improve the next day. Okay. And second thing, and very important, is the logbook. What I mean by logbook is, are you monitoring your progress? In the initial stages, the logbook can help you know how many complications happen, now how your complication decrease, how the patients are getting vision, how is the best corrected visual acuity gradually increases as you progress in your skill. So any measurement, you need to have the measurement with you and you need to see your progress. So basically, I think three things is important. You need to be patient because it happened in stages. Second is it requires practice. And third and more important is it requires self-reflection. Another from my practical experience, I have seen cataract training is not theory. Two of the important things is very much neglected during the learning period by residents and fellows is understanding the machine, in and out of the machine and pharmacodynamics, and understanding the biometry. If these two you will going to master apart from the skill, I think then we can nail the cataract surgery.
So then, for phaco trainers, what can be the teaching methodology?
Like I said, adult learning is different from child learning. For the trainers, I think it's important is adults need to be mutually respected, okay, and they need to be treated as equal. There should not be any bureaucracy, okay. You are a student, I am a teacher, all are adult. There should be mutual respect and they should be treated as equal. Here also, I think we are fortunate. India is a land of great teachers and educators. One of the institute like yours also, Susru. How many training you must have done over the years. So we are fortunate in India to have very good educational institutes and very great trainers. I must say that. So some of the things what I feel is important for trainers is, first is we need to see the patient safety is important. Okay, patients, everything what we are going to do, keeping patient safety in mind. So your job is to prevent the complication, coach to prevent the complication, not to fix the complication. And how we can do that? So you have to actually ask the trainee, okay, you have to practice this much and you have to monitor, have they practice in the wet lab or somewhere till they touch the patient. Okay, you can't make patient guinea pigs, right? So there should be a methodology in a system to monitor their progress. Have they done this much in the wet lab? How is the score, Oscar score in the goat's eye or pig's eye in the wet lab before they touch a patient? So monitoring is very important for trainers. Another is feedback. I think feedback is very important for any learning, not only cataract training. And it has to be a constructive and sandwich feedback. Whenever somebody done something, you have to praise that, yes, you really have done well this day. And then you have sandwich a constructive feedback saying, okay, and this step can have been improved in this way, then followed by again the reinforcement feedback. So this feedback culture is very important. Every time you step into OR, you observe a surgery right there, then okay, this step can be improved. Can you implement this the next day? That feedback is very important for the training. So trainer has to give feedback, constructive feedback and frequent feedback. And third thing is they really have to measure the results and progress of the trainee. If trainee is maintaining the Oscar score of their own or the logbook, trainer need to see that how it is progressing so that they can actually monitor the progress. And fourth important is reverse feedback. Reverse feedback is very important concept in today's world because everybody needs a feedback to grow. What I mean by reverse feedback is trainer gives feedback to training. At the same time, training needs to give feedback to the trainer about their coaching style. And there are some good, great tools available how to give feedback to the trainers as well. So one of the interesting tool my colleague Dr. Hunter Cherwick and I have developed is OFCA tool, which is Ophthalmology Faculty Coaching Assessment Rubric, which mainly involves around how to do the coaching in the pre-op, intra-op communications, okay, how you do the post-op discussion. And that tool, trainee can give feedback on that tool so the trainer also know where is the opportunity for them to develop. So I think if I can summarize is patient safety is the key. Trainer job is to coach, not to fix the complication. They have to give the feedback and they have to receive the feedback. I think that is what as a whole.
Now that we discussed about fellow cataract training, about when coming to practicing ophthalmology, why continuous learning is so important and what cost especially they need to invest in terms of education.
So now we have discussed about residency and fellowship training in India. But there are a lot of surgeons are there, individual practicing surgeon, and it is very important for them to continuously invest in the learning. And why it is important? So you know, a life expectancy of our people, this population have increased. I think right now India is around 70 years. So people are living longer years, which is a good thing. Life expectation also increasing. Good that now I think people have more money. We have gradually developing countries still. We have better money than the earlier years. So with life expectancy increase, life expectation increase. There is a big expectation from the outcome of cataract surgery. So cataract surgery is right now is no more a sight restorative surgery. Okay, so nobody is going to be happy. Okay, I have cataract now. I can see something. This no longer can satisfy a patient. Rather than cataract surgery become a lifestyle improvement surgery, and in a technical term, it is like cataract refractive surgery. So what I mean by lifestyle improvement surgery, now the patient have expectation with the cataract surgery. They're not only able to see the things, but their vision should match with their lifestyle expectation. They should be like now most of the time we are doing in the computer or maybe you want to go for fishing, you want to go for swimming, or maybe you want to drive in a night safari, so you need to have vision. So all the lifestyle need to be matched with their vision. So with this demand, there are so many advancements happen in the cataract surgery. Like earlier, it was only cataract surgery. Now a lot of diagnostic help us refine the precision in outcome in cataract surgery. We'll be able to address the astigmatism. We'll be able to address the presbyopia. That gives a lot of freedom to the people, not without class, so that they can adopt the lifestyle they deserve. And all the things these surgeons has to adopt and learn all the best practices happening in the cataract surgery, learn about this advancement so that they can give the same precision of outcome which every patient deserves. I think for that it's very important for the practicing surgeons also to self monitor their outcome, how they are ending up with, not in the vision but also let's say how they are at the post of spherical equivalent, how their target versus achieved refraction. They have to be that much precision if they really want to offer the precision. So learning for them is equally important as for the residents and fellows.
What industry can play a role in cataract training?
So, industry and educational institute, everybody has the same vision. The same vision, what I mean is we all working together for our patients, for our communities, so that we can offer the best outcome in terms of vision to the patients and the communities. Educational Institute doing a great job of training. As an industry, I think a two-way we can help. First and foremost is we need to continuously push ourselves to bring the best in products and innovation which can increase the safety, predictability of the surgery, the best travel technology which can be really give precision in the outcome. This is one is product and innovation. And second thing industry can do, especially in countries like India and some South Asian countries, where cataract training require a little bit uplift. Here, I think industry can also partner with educational institutes, like-minded educational institute who really want to devote also for the cataract training and can do something in the training front as well. So I think many industry also started doing it. They are partnering with institute in the training as well. For example, Alcon also has partnered with many like-minded institutes in the education and training. And one of the institutes is yours as well. And you're very happy with your partnership. And to tell you, the FACO development till now in last 10 years has almost enroll about 2,000 doctors in the program to help them advance in their skill set. So it is only possible when industry and educational institute have mutual interest in the skill development ophthalmologists.
What is your perspective on how we can improve cataract training in India?
So this is a big subject, how we can improve the cataract training in India. Of course, there are big stuff. It needs major policy changes, major healthcare budget allocation, major infrastructure spending, which is may not be controlled with you or me. It's not in our control. Let's talk about what are the small things which is in our control, how we can improve the cataract training in India. As I said, like 1500 ophthalmologists passed out every year from India, and to study recently interviewed many passed out surgeons by IJO. 50% of these students have never done any surgery, phaco surgery, whether independently and supervised. 50% of them. So you can see the gap. Okay, so while in Western countries, we have a very good curriculum, standardized curriculum, follow, they have wet lab, they have to practice, very nice curriculum. At least we can start with one thing is every institute should have a standard curriculum for training and it has to be rigorously followed. Okay, structured curriculum is the first step. And also we need to adopt some good tools available for the training, for the self-monitoring like we discussed earlier, like Oscar's Oscar tool, logbook. Okay. In terms of infrastructure, I think every institute at least invest in two things in infrastructure if they really want to boost their cataract training. In the OR with the microscope, really need to have a recording camera. It's a must so that trainee can record their surgery and they can see where they need to progress. And second thing is they can invest in a small wet lab, machine, microscope where people can practice. I think these two is important for any institute who is offering cataract training. This, I think, then come to the attitude and mindset of both trainee and trainers. Okay, training is a big extra effort and nobody is rewarded for the training. I don't think our trainers are being compensated for the training. It's all mutual interest. So, and this is what is going to be in India. We don't expect everything to be compensated with money. But I think we all have mutual interest to help each other, lift each other so that all of you can serve our community.
So, any last things you want to tell our viewers?
So, first of all, thank you for having me here. I must tell one thing is Before getting into all these jargons, actually learning is fun. Any skill development, any skill acquisition is really fun. We have to when you keep on learning, you keep on growing. When you stop learning, you stop growing, you become old. So if you don't want to get old, keep learning first thing. And one thing is, I think cataract surgery and IR technology has advanced hips and bounds over last 10 years. And it will continue to do in this tremendous speed in coming years as well. Okay, so there is no escape. We really need to, every person, ophthalmologist has to master the skill of phacoemulsification. There is no second choice. You have this choice only. You have to really master on this. And more important is you need to know where the patient expectation is going. This is now we are no more talking about the Snellen's acuity vision. What is the 612 now it is no more that. This is no more about base corrected visual acuity. Now the era is about uncorrected visual acuity, and that too not only for distance, in all functional activity, near, intermediate, any lifestyle you want to adopt, contrast sensitivity, how the vision in the night. So all these parameters are the key for the visual outcome. Now see, this is a tremendous pressure for the ophthalmologists, and I think it's very important. We have to keep abreast all the advancement in cataract technology so that we can offer the same precision in outcome in cataract surgery, which every patient deserves. Every of our parents deserve the same thing. So only option everybody is have is to learn and adopt the best practices so that we can offer the precision which every patient deserves. I think that is going to be my takeaway.
So it was a very beautiful and informative discussion. Dr. Reshmi, thank you very much for your attention, and uh, thank you very much to you for being with us for today. And thank you to all our viewers. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye, everyone. We will come back to you very soon.
Thank you, and it's pleasure being here.
Thank you.
Have a good day.